What are other reasons that delay cleared a fund?
Maybe they didn't pay the ass scratching fee.
That's another. Okay. Hey, Welcome to the closing table with the Money Guys, Sidney Young and Jared Parrish. This episode is being brought to you by Allura Financial, AlluraFinancial.com, your source for real estate investment funding. Now, presenting the Money Guys. Welcome. Hey, this is Closing Table with Money Guys. My name's Sidney Young.
And Jared Parrish.
We're the Money Guys, and we got Yo Money. Man, we're broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, downtown.
H-Town.
And it's been a pretty lively week outside. You see all the
Yes,
traffic going
very.
by. A lot of stuff happens. The other day, we had a good police chase come by. Of course, all we can do is wave at them.
Going at about 7 miles an
It was
hour.
the O.J. Simpson chase. That cop was behind him.
At least I can't get me for speeding.
I think the guy was in a handicap van or something.
He was, yeah. He had that little that handicap lift on the back with a wheelchair on it.
Today the police
I
were
know
running
my
radar.
rights.
The police were running radar out here trying to catch people running these stop signs.
Mm-hmm.
And so two kids go out there with signs saying police are here, which was making people stop.
Yeah,
So
I didn't
I
go and I'm talking to the cops. They're like, well, they're actually making our job easier.
You know?
We don't really feel like chasing
Yeah.
anybody down today.
So anyway, lively things happening here in Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun over here. Not once can you say you've walked into any business around here without having some interaction of some sort that says, there's homeless people out here. I talked to a homeless guy a minute ago out there. I said, hey, how you doing? He turns his sign towards me. Was that good or bad?
What did the sign say? That would kind of help.
Well, that's
to
just
define
it.
Whether that
It
was
was
good or
written in
bad.
such small wording, I couldn't say what. And he didn't.
See, that's smart because they're making you focus on what's written. Because when you have to sit there, what does that say?
Of course, I never should have asked him, hey, how you doing?
It just always sucks when you're trying to read.
Did I really care how he's doing?
I bet you.
What if
didn't.
he'd have turned around and said, how do you think I'm doing?
Yeah. Then you
So-
would have been like, oh.
You want to come work for
At
us?
least you don't have to worry about bills.
We'll give you an office. Come on. Hey, today's show is being brought to you by Allura Financial, AlluraFinancial.com, and
The Lazy P Brewing Company.
the Lazy P Brewing Company right here in the greater Houston area. Let's talk about Lazy P real quick.
Lazy P, they make beer.
Yeah, they do.
That's what they no. So,
Why are they lazy?
well, you want the
Oh,
short
God.
story or the long story?
We only got 30 minutes. Go ahead.
No, it's actually named after a ranch in Northeast Texas.
Okay. So it has nothing to do with work ethics or nothing like that.
No.
I was going to apply, but
And actually, even their logo is a brand.
Mm.
It's the Lazy P. So.
Lazy P. That's one of our sponsors here today, and we have a title company now.
Yes. So today, I mean, we're not really being paid sponsors for them, but we do work with a particular title company, and they've just been wonderful to work with. Good people. They get things taken care of very quickly.
If you're a wholesaler, you need this title company. They're very wholesale friendly.
Yeah. So Superior Abstract and Title, and talk to David Sayabusa.
Yeah, Superior Abstract and Title. He's located in Dallas, but they do closings all over the state of
but they
Texas.
do remote closings. They'll
Yeah.
send out a notary right to you. So I mean,
David takes
how
good care of
convenient.
us. Yeah. No matter what, we've had things pop up just for closing. He solves it.
Yeah.
He's always trying to get the deal done.
Yeah.
We do a lot of business with him.
Yeah, now we've got some current events and things going on.
We do?
Yeah, we had Groundhog Day.
Oh, yeah.
Punxsutawney Phil told us that there will be 6 more weeks of winter. So that means it'll remain in the 70s in Houston for another 6 weeks.
Woo! We're not exactly freezing over here today.
Yeah, flip-flops are our snowshoes.
That's right. That blows my mind how people spend time and energy to see what this hog looks at its shadow or not.
Yeah.
Anyway, people do all kinds of
It's
crazy
funny.
things.
And we have a couple of national holidays today.
We do? Mm-hmm. What?
Today is National Hemp Day. So for all of you 420 fans out there, today's your
Marijuana?
day. Yep.
Oh, wait.
National Hemp Day.
You know my feelings on marijuana.
Can't get enough of it, can you?
God dang long hairs.
And today is also Rosa Parks Day.
Oh, okay. I respect that one. Okay.
So I mean, there's
Rosa Parks. There's a woman
Maybe
that
I
had
should've
some
started
nuts.
out with that one.
There's a woman that had nuts to tell you, I don't care what your rules are. I'm starting something different. And she had enough balls to do it. I respect that.
And she didn't try to pretend like she didn't speak English.
You know, hey, there's a woman that took a stand. Anybody's willing to take a stand, I'm right or wrong. Mm-hmm. Hey, you were sitting in jail. I'm going, hey, dude, that was stupid. But, man, you had some nuts doing it.
Right. So, to Rosa Parks, we give you
Woo!
the salute.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Superior Abstract and Title, they're a title company.
Time to get to it?
Time to get to it, dog.
So we will start today's segment talking about the importance of not only the importance of using a title company, but also how to find the right title company for you.
But let's talk, before we can go into it, let's talk about the people who went around and circumvented putting their money with someone other than a title company.
Yeah, so there's really a story right now in Houston.
Oh.
There was a family in Southeast Houston, bought a house cash, $134,000, bought it from a homeowner. They didn't go to title. They drew up a bill of sale and filled out a quitclaim deed. Now, a quitclaim deed is basically you're saying that I will quit claiming ownership of the property. The title, unfortunately, was never transferred.
And the deed was probably never recorded.
None.
So
Nothing. They kept asking her, saying, hey, are you going to get us the deed? Are you going to get us the title for this? And nope, never got it. She goes, oh, I'm going to get it to you. I'm going to get it to you. I'm going to get it to you. And then this past week, they got a foreclosure.
that's the
notice.
same as these people who buy cars, never get a title, and every month have to go back and get a different paper dealer tag.
Yep. Yeah, we see those all the
thing.
time, too.
You know,
When I see those cars, it's like, oh, they don't have insurance. I avoid
or
them
driver's
like the
license,
plague.
or
Yeah.
you know,
And probably a few warrants.
yeah, probably a few. You know, but yeah, another issue is there's wholesale companies out there. I'm not going to mention the names of them, but you know who they are. They say if you want to get this deal that we have, and sometimes they don't even have it on the contract.
Yeah.
They pick a property somewhere with an address. Say, if you want this deal, we need a $3,000 non-refundable deposit up front.
Yeah, and you know what I say to that? Yeah.
Not up in here.
If you're dealing with a wholesaler and they're saying that in order for them to accept an offer,
Yeah.
you need to give them a non-refundable deposit,
Penalty flag.
major penalty flag.
You know what? And tell them if you even entertain that, one, why would you do that? Why would you not go through a title? All earnest funds have to be put up with a title company.
But Sydney, it's so expensive to use a title company.
It's free. Everything's paid out of closing.
But they've got so many fees.
That's right. It's there to protect you, though.
Yes,
and
it is.
and if the deal goes south, you can get your money back. Now, here's another thing too, man. These people that ask for these upfront deposits, ask them. Okay, just say you entertain them. Can I see the contract you have with the homeowner? Because a lot of times they don't have one.
Well, a lot of times they're not going to want to show you the contract that they have with a homeowner.
Well, I know.
Because they don't want you to know how much money they're making on this
Yep.
thing. Which I can respect that.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
But it's so much scamish stuff involved in that upfront deposit request
and
stuff.
it's the scam stuff that fucks it up for everybody else.
Yeah, I know. Bottom line is, if you're a professional in real estate, your earnest funds go to a title company, nowhere else. In a
Use
perfect
title
world.
company. What a novel idea.
The little cloud just pop up above my head. You know?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the advantages of a title company.
Yes. So the advantages of a title company. Let's start with the property. Okay? So I'm buying a property from you. You say,
Yes.
hey, you know what? I own it free and clear. Mm-hmm. It's worth $100,000. I'll sell it to you for $100,000. Mm-hmm. And we agree to that. Okay. Then I go ahead and buy it. Then I get a foreclosure notice because there's a $50,000 tax lien on it.
Amazing. The tax department must be wrong, not me.
Right. And but surely we can fix this, right? Mm-hmm. No, you can't. If you would have used a title company, they would have found out the tax lien.
Now, you see, that's another thing. Let's say you close to a title company and they missed the tax lien, and suddenly you're getting foreclosure documents because the title company missed the tax lien. Title companies have error and omissions insurance for that particular purpose in case they make a mistake.
And they have title insurance. What do you know?
So anyway, bottom line is we're joking around about it.
Yeah.
In real estate, you have to put a title company involved in your transactions.
Yeah, and in real estate, in many industries all over the place, but big one in real estate is you always want to deploy CYA. Mm-hmm. Cover your ass.
And that's another thing. You see people sell. I only sell to cash buyers. There's no such thing as a cash buyer.
Well, there are some, but they're very few and far between.
But even if you have 10 people with $1 million in their pocket, no one takes cash to closing. It's wired from your account to the title company.
Oh, you mean actual physical cash?
Yeah. And I see postings on there. I want a cash buyer. I understand what they say. They mean they want somebody with money readily available.
Yeah, and they don't want to wait for financing.
Yeah.
They want to go ahead and go to closing and not.
But you see, that's an inexperienced seller because they don't realize a company like Allure Financial, we're the same thing as a cash buyer. You come to me wanting a fixed flip loan, I have it in title company in 3 days. Mm-hmm. If you had that money sitting in your account, same thing. You could have it in title company. There's no difference.
Now, I can sympathize with the seller not wanting to wait for financing and everything. Because you want to get it done now,
right.
But it's I don't agree with the discriminating against people who are going to be using financing.
Well, I do. If it's traditional financing, forget that. I don't want my property tied up for a month and a half, 2 months, and the deal could possibly fall through. All he gets $1,000 earnest money for tying my property up.
Well, but a lot of what we're talking about is really investment property.
Well, exactly. So in that case,
when someone's buying their own personal homestead, they're as far as cash buyers.
Do your due diligence on if you're selling your property. Ask your buyer, man, are you getting a financing? They say yes. Hey, that's not a problem. Because if it's just a private financing, in 3 days' time they're funded anyway. But then ask your guy who's buying the property from you, man. Give me 2 months bank statements. I like to see your liquidity. Show me your identification so I know that's you. If it's an LLC, can I see your LLC docs to know that you're LLC?
What about a proof of funds letter?
Oh, those are freaking worthless. Those are so worthless,
oh, man. It's worthless. I mean, even the pre-approval letters.
Yeah.
Pre-approval letters does not mean they're actually going to get approved. It means they've met qualifications up to this point.
And what are qualifications? That's a matter of opinion. Mm-hmm. So showed up.
Well, because it's not necessarily that the borrower is bad, because maybe the borrower he was able to prove up all of his income, everything was all fine. But we didn't get down to conditions because it didn't go to underwriting.
No, that's it. Pre-qualifications could be you as a borrower had a phone and you were able to call in. Well, you had a phone. There's one of the qualifications. Mm-hmm. Boom, you're pre-qualified. That's how stupid it could get.
No, it really can. But looking at it also, let's say you're asking $200,000 for someone, and they're going to be doing traditional finance, but they've got a pre-approval letter, right? But then the appraisal doesn't come back. The appraisal comes back saying the home's only worth $150,000. Now you got a pickle.
You got a who?
A pickle.
What's a pickle?
A pickle.
What are you eating or this damn thing? What the hell? Huh? The fuck's a pickle? Anyway, we put the R in real estate, all right?
Mm-hmm. And we put the funk
in defunct, because it's time for a defunct commercial. Means they're no longer in business. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Went to all that trouble to take along your camera. Why not make sure you take home the pictures? Just focus in on Fox Photo 1 Hour Labs. We've got 6 on Maui and 8 on Oahu. We use Kodak products and guarantee 1 hour service, or you get a free roll of Kodak film. And you'll find free island photo guides at all Fox 1 Hour Labs. So don't take chances. For clear, sharp, colorful photos, go to Fox Photo. Quality prints in 1 hour.
Welcome back to the Table Money, guys. That was a defunct commercial.
One thing I like about the defunct commercials is they bring back memories.
They do, man.
I love that.
They do.
Some of them I've never heard of.
Every time we do that Blockbuster one, I cut over on those bastards. Yes.
I never paid the late fees.
I won.
Yeah. But, man, I miss Blockbuster, though.
Dude, that was such a waste of time.
I used to love, Friday, you're not really going out anywhere, but you walk into Blockbuster, and it smelled like the movies. You smell the popcorn.
Yeah, I know.
Walk around. Man, I remember doing that. It was
okay, I got to tell you a quick story. When I was in the military in Abilene, Texas, I took on a side job, very first side job I ever had outside the military, for Blockbuster Video. Because I worked at night for the military, and I had to be at Blockbuster early in the morning. So I was there day number 3, and I overslept. So I showed up like an hour later, so I walked in. apparently you don't know Blockbuster standards. You're fired. And I got fired from Blockbuster Video.
And you're like it. You're not getting my late fees.
I won. Anyway,
Right.
Blockbuster Video. Okay, we're talking about title companies, Weiss use them, this, and the other. Let's talk about,
How about payment?
that's important.
That's another reason that you have a title company.
Tell them the difference between a clear to close and a clear to fund.
Why don't you tell them?
Because you're smarter than me. He has more brain
So-
power than me.
When you're dealing with a lender and you get a clear to close, that means the lender says, okay, we're good to go. We'll allow everything to go to closing. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're giving it the clear to fund, meaning that they're authorizing the title company to disperse the money.
Because maybe you don't have an insurance in place yet. What are other reasons that delay clear to
Maybe
fund?
they didn't pay the ass scratching fee.
That's another. Okay. Hey, we've seen some outrageous fees on a HUD.
Yes.
We saw one today.
Yes,
oh
we
my
did.
God,
We did.
that was ridiculous. You have
like
to
prepare to bend over.
You got to screen your HUD. The HUD one. Look at those fees, man. Some are legit.
Yeah, don't just look at the bottom. Just don't just go straight down to the bottom and make sure that the amount of the cash to close is correct. I mean, go through there, look at all the fees, look at what you're paying for.
There were outrageous fees on this HUD, and the attorney put them on there. It's another story. But
Yeah,
anyway.
long story. No slander here.
Yeah.
No slander.
But anyway, read your HUD, man. Look at those fees. If you have discrepancy with them, you have to get that ironed out before closing. Because once you get closing table, that's not the time to start going through the HUD and say, what's this, what's this, what's this.
Yeah, and I know for a lot of real estate agents, loan officers, in title companies, I know when you start second guessing things, it can be an annoyance. But it's important to ask questions. If there's something on there that you don't understand, that beyond the shadow of a doubt, I know this is what it means, this is what's going to happen, ask questions.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, your closing agent, title company, is not the person that prepared those contracts or the HUD. No. All they do is they're the messenger. Don't start drilling them. Hey, what's this? What's this?
Yeah.
You should have had that cleared up.
They're not the ones to drill, exactly.
Yeah.
You go through there and say, well, what's this fee for? Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're here to tell you that there's a fee for that.
They're going to ask you, do you want to sign or don't you? If you don't, okay, I got another person coming up, so get out of here.
Yeah.
So you got to get all that cleared up.
I mean, they're going through closings
Man, a lot.
Yeah.
And today, one other thing I like about Superior Abstract and Title, I don't care where you live, they will send agents out to you to do
we
closings.
closed one in Florida. They're in Dallas, and they
Right.
just sent out a mobile notary and took care of it all.
Yeah. And then the process happens once they send both notaries out, they electronically send the docs the same day back to the title company, and depending on when it takes place, then they contact our fund and they say, hey, do we have a clear to fund? That's the one that makes us go,
Where is it at?
I don't, sing, sing. If they say clear to fund, in Texas, when's the cutoff on the wire?
2:30.
In Texas, if it's done before 2:30, you should get it that day in your account. After 2:30, you get it next business day. After 2:30 on a Friday, you ain't getting it till Monday.
Also, do you know what time it is when it's time to go to the dentist?
What time?
2:30.
Be back every Tuesday, Thursday night. Make sure you tip your wait staff. Thank you very much.
Now, there's an importance with using a title company to make sure, because like I said, as far as getting paid, the title company is going to accept the money.
Yeah.
They're going to verify the funds. They're going to call the bank, make sure that the check can clear, because that check's going to have to go into the escrow.
That's right, because they tell you have to bring money in the closing.
Yeah, so they're your.
They don't take personal checks, do they?
No, cashier's check. They're the intermediary.
Yeah.
To make sure that the buyer actually pays and the seller actually signs everything over. So this way there's no discrepancy. Because if there is a problem, then it falls on the title company, because they're the ones who are in charge of it all. Now, one thing that I'd like to mention is it's important to make sure that you find a title company that works well for you, that their accuracy, their follow-up, everything that they're doing is up to speed. There was an experience that I had heard of. I'm not going to go into that, but where a property was sold and they didn't do their due diligence to make sure that there were no liens on the property.
The title company didn't?
Didn't.
This is not
And
our
they-
title company.
No, not our title company. This is another title company. And I'm not going to say who it was, because then I don't want them to come back and say, oh, well, slander and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
We've been hearing that word a lot lately. So with that title company, what they didn't do is they didn't check to see, they didn't do the proper background. Like, for instance, if the person selling it has recently been through a divorce, they didn't look at their divorce decree to make sure that there were no liens. or that there was no other common ownership to the home, because maybe the deed is held in the wife or the husband's name, but as far as the divorce decree, it is community property. So going the extra mile, doing their due diligence to make sure that the buyer can go ahead and buy this house free and clear, that this is how much it is. There's nothing clouding the title is very, very important. And that's the importance of a title company, but making sure that you find the right one.
You know, and that's another thing. Find your title company before you go buy the property, because on that contract, you have to write the title company information on when you go to sign for the contract in front of the person that's selling it.
Now, also, some people may ask, who's the person, the buyer or the seller, who's the person that chooses the title company?
Opens title. You know, does it really matter, I guess?
I would typically say, because either one of them can suggest it. I mean, it has to be, you have to mutually agree on it.
Yeah.
I would typically say whoever's paying for title
Yeah,
can
you're right.
select the title company.
Which is typically you, the buyer.
Yes, because the
You
buyer is the one that's going to find the finance company, the mortgage company. They're the ones doing everything that's going to require. So let the buyer go ahead and that's, select the title company.
And that's just it. Once you select the title company, you put on the purchase agreement. Even if it's put on a purchase agreement, you decide to change it, that's fine. When a client comes to Allure Financial, we'll ask them, who's your title company? Oh, I don't care. Well, in that case, we go to David at Superior Applicant, because we know him. We have a relationship with him. He's an attorney.
And get stuff done fast.
Which, that's another thing. If you're a wholesaler out there, not all title companies do wholesale deals. There's a lot of title companies that don't. He's one of the few that does. We've done a couple of wholesale deals through him that were special and unique, and we made sure we got funded on it.
Now, when you're dealing with wholesaling and you're trying to do pass-through funding, now pass-through funding is important, because if you're trying to follow the what you see on TV, the infomercials, as far as selling property with no money down, which is what wholesaling is.
But wait, call now. You get an extra program, 100% free.
Yeah, right? They didn't cost us shit. When you're doing wholesaling and you're trying to do pass-through, not all title companies will allow pass-through funding.
That's right.
So you're going to have to find someone who could do transactional funding.
Pass-through means the title insurance, everything gets passed from this party to this party. And in today's world, is really used to be you had to schedule 2 different closings at the title company. Today, with the virtual closings, it's easy to do.
Mm-hmm. It is very easy to do, but some of them are going to require transactional funding, which can add a lot of cost onto the transaction.
Yeah.
Certain title companies, one that we know of is BRPS Title. They will allow for...
E.L. Crane, BRPS Title, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a wholesaler and you're working on your wholesale deals, you do want to reach out to a title company that you have a good relationship with and ask them, do you do pass-through funding on a double closing?
You know, and that's really important, because, man, you don't want to pay those transactional fees for them to put money in there for what, a couple hours sometimes?
Yeah, literally a couple hours.
You end up paying $1,000, $1,200. She goes, it's insane.
You're like, man, that was almost all my profit.
But it is time now for an actual non-defunct commercial.
This is a non-defunct commercial. This is a real commercial.
This is we're very hairy people, aren't we? Well, I got left once you have. So it's kind of ironic we're having a commercial about a hair salon.
But because there's women.
There are women.
And women have equal rights.
Yes.
So we need to show something for the ladies.
That's right. So we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Let's set an appointment to welcome you to Tangled and Teased Hair Salon. Let's find the perfect color. Let's find your perfect cut. With almost 10 years in the industry, I can work with you to find that perfect look. Call Tangled and Teased Hair Salon today. 281-793-2826. Your style is one phone call away.
All right. Didn't that give you a warm, fuzzy feeling? Just make you want to scratch your head?
No, just get it all up in.
What's the
Pantene
moisturizer?
Pantene,
or whatever that was.
You know they put floor wax in that.
In what?
Pantene Pro V.
Floor wax.
Floor wax.
You're going to get sued, dog. You're going to the can. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Okay, we're talking about title company.
At least I know how to wash the guy's hair.
What are you doing washing guys' hair?
If I was going to the can.
Not there's nothing wrong with that. But
not that there's anything wrong with that.
You know, to each their own. But Leave it alone, man.
All right. So title companies,
Yeah.
you got make sure that you do, and it would be best just like in your real estate investment business, you put together your mastermind group. Your mastermind group, you're going to have your realtor, you're going to have your general contractor, you're going to have your money guys. And you want to make sure that you have a good a relationship with a title company that can handle all of your transactions, that can work the way you need it to work. Maybe you're not worried about doing a double closing and needing pass-through funding. Maybe you're fine with just taking an assignment, and this way everyone knows exactly how much you made on the deal. If you're happy with that, cool, but make sure that you're working with a title company that can
I will tell you, do not take an assignment chain to a title company. Ain't going to happen.
Go ahead and tell them the problem with that.
Well, a title company's not going to sit there and say, okay, this person gets this. They won't do
You mean
it.
a wholesale chain?
Wholesale chain. I'm sorry. What did I say?
Wholesale chain.
Yeah.
You said title chain. I'm like, what the
No, I'm
fuck
sorry.
is that?
Yeah, wholesale. You know where you have several
I
wholesalers.
thought I was going to learn something.
You know, several wholesalers. That,
Yeah, when you get a wholesale chain,
Yeah.
so you got Chris that put it under contract. Chris sells it to Bob, says anything over this amount you can have. Bob's like, man, I get you a buyer because Bob went to Daniel. Daniel's another wholesaler. And he's like, anything over this you can keep, Daniel. And Daniel's like, man, I got you a buyer. And he goes to another wholesaler, says, you got a buyer on this? Anything over this you can keep. Then you go to title. You're like, man, can we do a quadruple closing? No.
And then the fun
about
part
clouding
is
the title.
when the last guy on the chain goes out to visit the property and mentions the guy before him, the homeowner's going, I don't know that person.
Yeah, who are you talking about? I was
know?
dealing with Chris.
You know?
Then you look at it just,
Oh.
the jig is up.
Man, there's so much crap out there. It really is. And it's, you're going to run into it. If you're in real estate anywhere in the United States, you're going to run into some of this crap. And you just got to use common sense, man. If it doesn't smell right, it's not right.
And, and there's a lot of money to be made in real estate. And these assholes that try to scam and do all that, all they're doing is they're making it harder for everyone else to make money. They're going to get caught. The scammers don't win.
But, on the bright side, you find a legitimate deal. Your numbers are right on it. You make a deal. Boom. Put the title company
You
stuff.
call Allura Financial.
You call Allura Financial. That's right. Put the title company information on the contract. Get a hold of us or get a hold of someone for your financing. We do it in a matter of 3 days, so that's pretty quick. Call the title company up and say, hey, I just put a contract together. I would like to open title, because one of the questions that your lender's going to ask you is, have you opened title yet? Open title means, have you given the information so they can start the check on the title? What's it called? Title.
Research the title?
Yeah, so I forgot what their term for it. I'm going blank here. And they just check for any liens or any issues on title. If title takes about 3 days sometimes.
Yeah,
on
and you want them to do that. You want them to take their time, do their due diligence to make sure that you're not going to get caught up in anything at closing, because you don't want to buy a house that's got fleas.
Now, here's another thing. As the seller, man, make sure they got your wiring instructions. That's the most important thing.
Yep.
When that deal closes,
Make sure every digit is correct.
every digit, that deal closes.
You get that old didgeridoo, that didgeridoo.
You're off by one number, and we've had that happen.
Yes, we have.
Where
We have.
we're off by one freaking number, and
Yeah.
you don't get funded.
Yeah, we had submitted one that was the copy of a copy of a
Yep.
copy, and they messed up, but they thought a 3 was an 8, and we were sitting here waiting. It's like, did we get paid yet? No.
And we're going, and he said, "But I wired it." And we're going, "Well, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Then
It
you
didn't
got to
come
find
through."
out whose account that actually went into.
Yeah, then they got to hopefully.
Then you got to get it back.
Yeah, that could be tricky.
But
But
those are things that you want to make sure that.
my advice to you: go to Allura Financial, AlluraFinancial.com. Look at our webpage. Give us a phone call. Let us walk you through the process. We fund in 3 days, man. You can't get any quicker than that.
On Fix and Flips.
And fix and flip. Use other people's money. Use our money. AlluraFinancial.com. Hey, man, we're coming back next week for another show on Tuesday.
And next week is Valentine's Day.
For birthday week, too.
Birthday. Oh man.
We'll see you next week on The Closing Table with the Money Guys. And we got your money.